This is The Party with Serene
and Pearl.
Get it right, Poddy.
What's up, potty people? It is the show that 50% of you love, the Trim Healthy Podcast, with Serene, Pearl, and me, Danny. But today we got a special guest, and that is Coach Amy.
Hey!
You already have a microphone.
Hey, y'all! Is that good?
But I like that host vibe of me,
Okay.
but we're not going to do it.
It's like when rock and roll stars, they feel so like awesome when they do the antics with the mic.
Yeah.
You know, they go for the high note. They don't really need to throw the mic back.
No.
But they do it just for the like.
I like to work a mic,
Work
if you
a
will.
mic.
Turn your phone off, Serene.
Bye, guys. Pearl's making me be like, all good.
So, this party has been a long time coming because
You can't crank a podcast
she
off and
just
then
had
leave.
coffee, guys. Those of you that listen
Coffee
to
makes you
our
go pee. It's a
podcast,
scientific thing.
You got any more
I
coffee?
asked Serene
I just got a
specifically
sip. It's all mine.
I asked her specifically never to drink coffee before another podcast because the one that she did, it was
Stop
hard.
radiating me. Put it over on the.
It was hard for me. But she defied that today. So I'm sorry, Amy.
It's all right. It's all good.
Amy, this has been a long time coming. Was it about a year ago?
Yeah.
I said, hey, Amy, if you are ever in the area, you must come. You must
did.
come because I
Made
have
my day.
met so many people that have been impacted by your journey and your coaching and Amyites, right? There's a bunch of little yous.
Have you named us now?
Yes. There is a bunch
I'll
of
take it.
of
It's like, you know, in
women.
the Bible, I'm of Paul, I'm of Apollos, I'm
Yeah.
of Amy.
I'm of Amy. So I think it's going to be so fun to hear your story today and hear actually what it's like to be a full-time THM coach. I don't know what that's like. We've had coaches on here, but we've never asked that
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
So welcome. To
Thanks
the
so
party.
much.
Yay.
It's incredible to be here for sure. And anyway,
you have
thanks
your
so
own
much.
podcast,
I
don't
do.
you? And
I
what's
do.
it called?
Yay.
Chatting with Coach Amy.
Chatting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
chatting.
That's what we're going to
No
do
G.
today.
None of this ing stuff. Yeah,
Uh-uh.
none of this proper English.
Everything that I do is IN. apostrophe.
Yeah. And so you were in town. You had
am.
40 of your Amyites here.
Yeah.
And you were like, hey, I'm in town. Were you serious about that invitation? I'm like, you bet you were serious. So here you are. And I'd love to hear. I haven't really heard your story. And then I want to get into like what you do and what's it like to be a coach, not just for yourself, but we've got so many.
Barbara Walters, you're doing amazing.
I know I am doing amazing. Shut up, you little coffee brat. Coffee brat.
You dressed up for Amy today.
I did.
Let's talk about
it's
it.
like I'm doing
Dear,
the
we're not
antics.
worth it, are we,
No.
Jenny?
Yeah, we dressed
You're
down.
not worthy. I want to hear what it's like because we've got so many fantastic coaches, and I
Yeah,
want to
for
just
sure.
talk about that. But let's start off. Oh my goodness! Let's start
On
off
this
with
episode of
Yeah.
2020.
But like, how did you start this whole trim healthy mama thing? Why? What's up with you? Why are you where you're at?
Yeah. So I got to my most unhealthy, most heaviest weight, I guess you'd say, in 2016. We had just walked through a 2-year journey with adoption. We have 5 children. We have 3 girls. They're all teenagers now. And we have 2 little boys. They're 7 and 8. And we adopted each of them at birth. They had the same birth mom, but we adopted them each at their own births.
Was that foster care first or was
No,
straight adoption?
private adoption,
Okay.
yeah. And so while she was expecting our last son, it was a really difficult time for me. And so I made a lot of poor decisions. I didn't take care of myself. I was barely surviving. But I was the mama that was laying on the couch all day, and my husband would work all day, and he would come home and do supper and the dishes and the clothes and the baths, and I would just I couldn't.
Was it adrenal fatigue or was it actually like emotionally burnt out?
I feel like it was both. I
Yeah.
think it kind of, it was twofold on that for sure. I had severe joint pain. I did have Hashimoto's. And of course, eating food. And I knew how to eat healthy. I knew
Did
that.
you? How did you
I
know
knew
how to
that.
eat healthy? Had you grown up in healthy ways or just your own research?
No,
or-
yeah, just my own research. And I had been my most fit self about 3 or 4 years prior to that. I did kettlebells, workouts pretty regularly with a trainer and ate well. And I didn't separate fuels like we do
Right.
now, but still very healthy. And I was much younger, of course, too. So that had a lot to do with it. But I had already had a total hysterectomy when I was 29.
Yeah.
So I was dealing with that. I had a pulmonary embolism right after that
Did they
surgery.
take your ovaries too?
Yeah,
No,
everything.
They did. They
it was
did.
all gone.
They immediately put you on hormones.
Yeah, and I had a
So that's
pulmonary
been your
embolism.
saving. Oh, you had a pulmonary embolism.
Yeah, so then I couldn't take anything after that.
Are you currently on hormones though?
Yes.
Yes.
I am.
So you
So
found a doctor who
I
would
did
take
do it.
you.
Okay.
Yes.
Praise God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, praise God for sure. After he was born, there were some more traumatic events that I'd rather not go into. But he was born in April of 2017. And in July of 2017, I started going to CrossFit. And, I'm sorry, that was 2016. Anyway, I started going to CrossFit. And I didn't change my eating. And I didn't lose any weight, but it was wonderful for my mental health, and I continue to do that to this day. So 7 years
Right.
in a couple weeks.
Wow.
My little CrossFit anniversary.
Yes.
We name all the things.
Yes,
And
love
then in
that.
January 2017, my best friend told me about THM. And that's my life completely changed because I never thought I'd even be sitting here. And you helped a lot with that as well, by the way.
Yeah.
I'll get to you in a minute.
But interestingly enough, if this is not sidetracking everything,
I'm good.
CrossFit is, high energy training.
Yeah.
So like if I was looking at that situation, like depending on how much weight you had to lose, you need to fuel that.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
that would have been like, did you just do like the crossovers? Or how did you?
Well, when I first started CrossFit, I didn't know THM.
Right.
And so when I found it, and I learned it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And so in January, I started separating fuels, and I paid attention to my body. Thank God, I already knew how to do that.
Yeah.
And I think that helped expedite. So that was January. By April, I was at my goal weight.
Really?
But
Wow.
I have less body fat today
Yeah.
than I did then.
But same way,
Right.
just better
Yes.
composition. Yeah.
Yeah. My muscle mass is
Yeah.
awesome. So anyway, it just I just continued learning. I mean, I'm still learning stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all on that protein. Your optimized
the
protein
protein
stuff.
nerd
Still
party.
learning all that. And it's amazing. I love that I can continue learning and growing. But yeah, definitely feeling with CrossFit. And I didn't start out lifting weights. I mean, you have a PVC pipe forever,
Oh,
you know,
wow.
and modify everything. And they were very careful to make sure, because I was not an athlete in high school.
I'm
Okay.
I
so
didn't know
glad
how to jump
know
rope.
that they really hit the foundation first.
My box for sure does.
Yeah, that's
but like I
great.
learned how to jump rope there. I learned how to run.
yeah.
I can do toes to bar. I can do 12 toes to bar in a row now.
Wow.
I can deadlift
What does that
230
mean?
pounds.
What is toes
You're
to
hanging
bar?
on the rig and you kick backwards and your toes hit your hands on the rig.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I can do a handstand push up. I mean, it's
wow,
just,
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Jumping rope is harder than people think.
it's tough.
Like jump some rope,
Yeah.
and then like because you see people doing
And
it,
it's like,
and you're
we have to do like 100 and then something
Yeah.
else and then 100 and something else.
like it hurts
Yeah.
your joints.
But
when
that
you
was
first start doing
community,
it.
obviously, for you. But so you were really emotionally, physically tanked. But,
Yeah,
but it
and-
was stemming from your emotions, wasn't it? Your
for
physical,
sure.
like, kind of breakdown stemmed from your
For
emotions.
sure.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So-
and learning to manage anxiety and emotional dependence on food is huge.
And is that
Can
what
I-
you deal with a lot of your coaching?
Yes.
I'm sure, which we'll find out.
So
more.
many women.
And I want to bring this point up too. Maybe I didn't share.
Wait, let's see.
No,
Well, I wasn't paying
no,
attention.
because
Now
I pretty much know the
I'll
You
catch
know,
it.
type.
before we
I'll
did
catch
the
it.
YouTube and the cameras, we could just sit here like.
I'd let it hang out for Danny, but like
Yeah.
a little stray hair or two, but not for all of you. I broke the fifth, whatever it is, camera.
Fourth wall.
No, but it's very interesting because even before THM, even before how you learned how to fuel properly, you said one of the greatest helps for your emotions was just getting into exercise.
Absolutely.
And that, I just really want to make sure people are hearing that. Exercise does incredible things to fight depression,
Yeah.
Oh,
to
mental
fight
health,
anxiety,
huge.
to just like feel like you've got hope again.
Yeah, for sure. And I didn't. I had been on antidepressant medication years before, but counseling is also extremely important in my opinion. And I did that to work through the adoption things that we had traveled and the trauma from that. And I was just healing all over the place, and it was a beautiful thing. And so I've been able to use that because years down the road is when you guys. Opened up the coaching program, and I was like, no. But then more and more people kept asking me, how do you do this? How do you do this? And it was more people than I could do one-on-one or just send a simple text every now and then. It was, infringing upon my family, because
Yeah.
it was so much. And so we could not afford for me to do the coaching program. So I did a little MLM thing just to make enough money
Did you?
to pay for that.
Okay,
And I also, we wanted to pay off our credit card debt. So once I paid off the credit card debt, I told Wes, my husband, he's amazing, y'all. I would
Wes?
love for y'all. Wes.
I love that name.
Wes Gaskin, that's what I call him. But anyway, I told him once we pay that off, I want to do this. He's like, whatever, it's fine.
So what year was that?
That was 2019.
What year did we come out with the coaching,
I
John?
think it was the year before, but I'm not
Okay.
100%.
Yeah.
It was a
That's
it was
so
a while.
interesting.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you heard about so you kind of got to go weight easily.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you were kind of like a THM rock star, okay? You just...
And that was already ovaries removed, womb removed,
Yes,
right?
yes.
That just shows
And-
the power of bioidentical
and
hormones.
Hashimoto's.
I'm so sorry
And
to just have to
Hashimoto's,
bring that up.
yeah.
People are so mad at us for bringing it up every left, right, and center.
It
but,
needs to be talked about.
but the fact is that would have made it difficult to get to goal weight without any hormones.
You would have been one of the ones struggling with. But I do have to say now, so you kind of got there, and then it's just, you know, you got to goal weight, and then now you're just like being body comping more and more,
Yeah.
and you know. But have you had challenges in your own personal THM journey? Because obviously when someone comes to get coached, they don't come to get coached because they're rocking it.
No.
They come to get coached because they're challenged.
They're struggling.
You see the ones that are struggling.
Yeah.
But have you had struggles yourself in your own journey, or have you had to learn from these women and kind of glean and then figure out how to help
I
them?
struggled in the first, at least 3 years of knowing about THM, because I experienced kitchen fatigue, which a lot of people talk
Okay.
about.
Kitchen fatigue.
Kitchen fatigue.
What is
yeah.
kitchen fatigue?
You are worn out, like so many dishes. Do I
Okay.
have to cook another recipe? You know, and I teach people you don't have to make a recipe. Everything that goes in your mouth does not have to be a recipe.
That's good.
I love
You know,
that.
you can go
Doesn't-
to the grocery
think I
store
ever
and
do
get a
recipes,
rotisserie
yeah.
chicken
Yeah.
and a steamable broccoli, and you're good. I mean, you want to put some other things with that. I'd be mad if that's
No,
all I
that's
ate, but
so
you know,
good.
it's so simple. And so I kind of quit for a minute, and my
Yeah.
husband was like, "Bruh, are you still doing this THM thing? Because you're not acting your best self, you know."
Yeah.
And so he encouraged me to get back on it, and then I read your book. What if you could?
Oh,
And that's one of the
Dan.
reasons why I decided to go ahead with coaching, because people kept asking me, but I was very nervous about it, and I was like, okay, fine, I'm going to do it, and I did, and it's
And-
made all the difference in the world in our life, like in so many ways. So thank you so much. Thank you.
You didn't
really
know
I want
that.
a, I
You
want a
didn't know.
moment of pause before I speak what I was
So
going to
good.
speak, because that was just a special moment. So I
Oh,
love
you
it.
want to do a little Selah?
Yeah, just like a sailor pause. Like, what if you could? Like,
It was so.
But even if she hadn't had a little bit of a struggle, you know, she had kitchen fatigue, but she didn't have this massive turtle weight stuff to deal with. It
No, I
doesn't matter
didn't.
because you can relate because you had emotional struggle.
Oh,
Whenever you've
absolutely.
had struggle in life and you've gone to
Doesn't-
deep,
yeah.
dark valleys and you've risen above, you are in a position to help others.
It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be the same struggle, right?
No, it doesn't. And I mean, even in the last 6 months, I experienced something similar. The situation that we had with our adoptions, it's very tender during Mother's Day. And I had to leave my home the other day because I was so overwhelmed with everything. I just needed to get away for a minute, you know. And I ended up at my mama's gravesite. I didn't even mean to be there,
Yeah.
but she passed away not too long after I became a coach. And that really doesn't have anything to do with it, but still the timing, you know, I'm almost 4 years now. And, you know, I just went there and I just sat there for a really, really, really long time. And when I got done, I wanted the fast food that I would have gotten a long time ago. So I still, I deal with it. I have to fight it. But my goal is to be consistent. And my business name is Southern and Healthy because so many Southern people are not.
Right,
And it's
that's
all
so
over the world for
fantastic.
sure, but it's bad.
I really love that.
Thank you.
Southern and healthy.
Southern and
you know,
healthy.
there's so many Californians that's just inbred in their blood to be like a carrot juice sprouter. You know?
I have clients there too, though. So
Yeah.
it's cute. I have some that are in Washington State with their Southern and Healthy T-shirt.
Oh,
you
that's
know,
funny. Love
yeah,
that.
they're everywhere and international too. But you know, it just is such a beautiful thing to be able to pull from those circumstances and give them the encouragement that they need to keep going. Because these ladies, they need somebody in their corner, and they can read a book. And so that's why I just want to thank y'all for opening up the coaching program so that the women that find your book, whether it's at the library or at a yard sale or their mama told them or whatever, they have somebody that can come in their corner. And what's beautiful too is that they don't have to pay for it if they can't afford it, because we give the coaches community gives so much for free. There are so many with YouTube channels for free.
Yes.
So many have podcasts for free, Facebook and Instagram posts, and all kinds of things in between. And that is just, it just makes my heart so happy that you can do that. And no, we don't coach for free.
No, you
because
can-
it's very time consuming.
So that's what we're going to find out.
Yeah, so
about
time
about
consuming.
But
time.
I
and
want to
what
come
is
back to just a little bit a point before Barbara Walters steers us and keeps steering us. But you know how you said, well, you know, sometimes you still have those moments of
For
struggle.
sure,
You
yeah.
have those Southern instincts, you know, for soul food. But that's okay. And I love that because I want to point out that you never should feel condemned for a
Right.
temptation or for a struggle. It's just what you do with those things.
Yeah.
You know, if you are the fighter and say you struggle with something every day, but you like, you know, are able to be the victor in those things, it doesn't matter how many times that comes against you.
Right.
It makes you just even more strong.
Right. And
You
if
know?
you even fall into the temptation,
Yeah.
you do better next
Exactly,
time and
'cause-
learn from it.
I agree with that.
So when you decided to be a coach, it was early on in our coaching program. We didn't know what would happen with it either.
I'm sure you
Honestly, we did no. We had no. I'll tell you our aspect, and then you can tell kind of yours. We had no grand plan for coaching. We weren't like, let's create a coaching program. There was just this need. And some people were out there calling themselves THM coaches, and
Right.
they were saying all sorts of things. And Serene were like, hey, hold on.
Right.
That's not what we wanted. And so we said, let's create a program where, you know, if someone wants to, I don't know how many will want to go through it, become certified, we can trust what they're saying.
Yeah.
And so we just, you know, we kind of probably did it wrong. We created a program with, you know, Chris Honeycutt, our head coach, and put it out there and said, at least it's out there. And if someone will be saying the right things, you know, and then we kind of just left it. But all these incredible women like yourself and like others started becoming coaches, created this strong community.
Yeah.
Whenever we go somewhere, Serena and I,
Oh.
we're like, oh, I'm a coach Jamie, I'm a coach this and that. So many names, and their lives have been changed.
Absolutely.
And we're like, well, we didn't know what the heck we were doing, but we're so glad we did it.
Yeah.
And
You should
now,
be.
you know, and now we're kind of seeing like, oh, okay, let's really surround our coaches because this is huge. We never know what's going to happen, but God blows on things, you know. And when something is of His Spirit, it just naturally happens. Like with our first book,
That's right.
we didn't know what the heck we were doing, Serene. We had no
That book's a little
advertising.
overwhelming. I'll be honest. I don't think I've read it cover to cover.
Yeah.
I access it and look at it, but
yeah.
I haven't even read it cover.
No,
Have you even
not
held it?
even the cover.
What?
have you held it?
I've embraced it.
Okay.
But it was all wrong in so many ways, and yet it started this movement, you know,
Yeah.
and God breathed on it. And I think, you know, when I see what is happening with our coaching community, I know that it's God breathed.
And I love the fact that, you know, there can be a movement at large, but every large movement needs to have little tight-knit communities, like the coach and her little chickies under her
ducklings,
wing.
yes.
You know, and I feel like it's like the mega churches, and then they come back to the home church where, you know, people within those vast communities come and have their special 30 or 40 that they're just like really in more deep relationship with, and they can really
Yeah.
go on a deeper journey together. And I think
Yeah.
it's so important.
yeah, so our story, we didn't really know what we were doing, but we saw the need. Okay, we're going to do it. Just threw it out there. And then people like you know, somehow I felt a connection. But did you go into it with grand designs, or what
Absolutely
did you know?
not. No. I just wanted to make the money back.
Okay. So you,
And boy, have I.
Okay.
And it's been a huge blessing to our family. But when I came into it, I had, like I said, I did a few MLM things in the past, like selling and, you know, just marketing and stuff. And I have a degree in marketing and
So
desktop
you have the
publishing.
right skill sets too.
yeah.
Yeah. And so my first, I finished the coaching program probably really, really fast, probably faster than I should have. But I
Well,
was
it sounds
so
like you're an
excited.
overachiever, but yeah.
Yeah.
I
when
see
I'm
that leopard
passionate-
slap bracelet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, when I'm passionate about something, I'm going after it, and you're not going to stop me. So it just was like that, and Wes was like, "Fine, that's fine, go ahead," you know. But no, I never thought that. I created my Facebook page. I came up with a name, and then I got to looking at a lot of the business side of it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I messaged Chris, and I said, "Is there any way that I can get a refund? I don't think I can do this." I did.
Funny.
I did. She goes, "No, girl, I don't think we give refunds. I've never been asked that, but you've got this. You've got this. You've already got a page, blah, blah."
I
And
can
was
imagine
like,
her just
Oh, yeah.
saying that, yeah.
I was like, okay. I said, let me think about it overnight. And so she messaged me.
So funny.
She messaged me the next day. She said, so Amy, how are you? I was like, fine, I'll do it. And we talked about that. She and I led a conference last summer for coaches, and she told that story. And it was very surreal being alongside her doing that. Like it was amazing. Woo. But I'm so grateful that y'all did this, but I can tell that y'all had no idea it was going to be the way that it is.
We
Because
had no idea.
the beauty of it, but the way that y'all laid it out, like, you're certified, go.
Yep.
Like, be free. And I did, and it just overnight. So I started my first group with about 10 local people. It was a Facebook group. I wasn't doing in person. I just didn't. I had tried to lead Bible studies before, and they flopped. And so
Okay.
people are going to pay and probably not show up too. Like, and
Yeah.
I don't have time for that. I have 5 children. So, you know, I did the Facebook thing. You can check in when you're ready, just like y'all do with Treasure Hunters. I would go live. I would share
Yeah,
this.
that's
I would do
fantastic.
accountability, teach the plan. I used the book plan.
The plan book, yeah.
yeah thing. Y'all have what is it? It's a download.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? The workbook
The starter?
thing.
No,
No.
the guide.
Well, you did that
guide.
thing. The
Yeah, I
guide.
did that
Okay,
thing.
great.
The guide thingy jingy.
The PDF thingamajiggy. Yeah, I did that. It was almost 4 years ago. Anyway, so I did that, and then had 10, and I was thrilled. I had one-on-one client, and it looked very different than what it looks now, for sure.
Yes. So
it
how
has
did it-
grown.
I have to go to the pee-pee, like
Oh,
the coffee.
see,
It's
with
the
that
coffee.
See?
Yeah.
Ban her, Leslie. If you see her drinking coffee, pull it out of her hands, her jolly hands. Wow, so you didn't know, but then how did it pick up? Like, you're absolutely
COVID.
full-time. Like, oh, what happened in COVID then?
So I did a Christmas group in 2019 just to support them during the holidays because
Okay.
holy smokes, people need help with that.
Yes.
And so we just made a bunch of recipes. I had mega fails with sugar cookies
Yeah.
on plan ones, right? And I was like, don't make this. Don't make this one. This
Okay.
is the one you need to make, you know. So that was fun, kind of, you know, experimenting in the kitchen. I love Cooking with Coach Amy was
Yeah.
another group I did. Anyway, so January came through and I did a group to teach the plan and included accountability and lives and different things. In February, I think I had 50 in that group, and I was like, Wes, something's happening here.
Okay.
And he said, let's talk about, he's an entrepreneur. He's had his own business. So it was not hard for him to go in that direction with me. And so
That's Wes.
yes. And so we talked through how that would look. And
With you working kind of full-time.
full time, yeah,
Yeah.
what I need to do. And so I just began talking about it on social media, asked everyone, you know, share this please, and I began to build following on social media. I did a YouTube channel, and it was like, if you look at my videos from then to now, which I still haven't arrived, I don't have a film crew and lights, it's just me and my cell phone, but it works.
But that connects.
They're not
yeah.
complaining.
No,
I'm real. I'm
no.
real. And it just boomed. And so when COVID hit and the whole shutdown happened, I was like, I've done decided that I'm going to go full time, and nobody's going to be able to afford, because we didn't know what was going to happen.
Right.
You know, you didn't know.
Yeah.
But it was the complete opposite.
Wow.
Beating my door down. Had waiting lists for one-on-one.
Wow. Because
And
so many
so
people
it was
started gaining weight
wi-
during that
yes.
time.
Well, I
and-
feel like so
Yes.
many people were in emotional struggles
Yes,
during
they
that
were.
time. And they could
And they needed a
relate.
cheerleader.
Yes.
They needed a cheerleader and somebody that would hold them accountable. And that's all I've done. And so it's just increased from there. And a lot of things have changed. I'm not coaching groups on Facebook anymore because there were a lot of limitations there. And so I found something that worked.
Yeah.
And
What do you do? How do you
It's
coach
called
your
Mighty
group?
Networks.
Okay.
And it's very similar to Facebook. It has feeds, but it has a lot of great tools and resources that I can organize education. I write articles. I'm also a certified health coach.
Right.
So I organize articles for them and lists, you know, like little grocery list. And I write my family's menu every week and share it with them. And the lives, they can watch the replays in order.
Yeah.
Just really
so what
organized.
is your family's like recipe kind of? What does an average week look like for you guys?
Yeah, like what we're eating.
Yeah.
So I eat on plan. Usually it's going to be an S would be eggs with a breakfast meat of some sort with a vegetable that's been sauteed alongside the
That's
eggs,
for
like
breakfast,
a one pan
yeah.
thing, and berries. And my family, they'll eat eggs as well. Sometimes
Yeah.
they'll have off plan things.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they know to have protein. They know it's very important.
Yeah.
The boys love yogurt with a banana and some keto granola and berries, and they can make that themselves. So that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yes.
And then my girls, they have watched me and have learned, and they're not all 100%, but they are very trim and very healthy, and they're dancers. They're all
Yeah,
dancers.
you look like their sister. Every time I see photos of you, and you look like your daughter's sister.
Yeah. I
People
love
joke
that.
and call us the quadruplets.
I love it.
But yeah, they're very special. So we love to do dinners together. My son Camp loves cheeseburger pie.
Oh,
it's his
yes,
favorite.
yes.
Yeah, he'll be like, "Yes, girl." He's so funny. You would love Camp. You're a lot like him.
I already love him.
You love Camp.
Yeah.
And so we do that. I have a Mississippi roast that I use Gwen's Nest, and she has a seasoning packet for the onion soup mix, so you can mix that up in bulk. And then Oh Sweet Mercy has a ranch seasoning mix. So
These are bloggers,
yeah. And so I just pull those things together to make a Mississippi roast because I'm in Mississippi, so that's cool.
Right.
And we do things, we grill and do sweet potatoes and veggies, hamburgers.
Sweet potatoes.
I mean, just
are
easy.
just the most bomb diggity bomb, simple side,
So
gentle
easy.
carb.
What
I just
about
love
like
'em.
what are your like? Obviously, well, you work out, so
I
you
do.
need crossovers. Obviously,
I
sometimes,
do not.
right?
Maybe one or two a week.
Really.
Wow, wow, but maybe you could just shine on them.
Have
And-
you tried doing more? What happens?
I haven't tried.
Yeah.
Maybe one or two a week, really.
Yeah.
I like live on
I don't-
all,
I-
and you're
I
like
enjoy-
super thin.
Yeah, but
I
we
enjoy
have
my
different
activities.
metabolisms
Yeah.
too.
I only go 3 days a week.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
go. I
Yeah.
don't. I
You
don't
work out
kill
more.
it. Yeah.
But that's interesting though. So what ease do you love that is simple? Because I'm looking at what you
man.
do and you're very simple, which I am too. I love simple.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not sustainable for me if it's not. So there's organic canned lentils at Walmart.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll do those with canned chicken or a Safe Catch tuna pouch.
You're
Thank you so
drive-through
much.
Suish, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
I have 5 kids and I work full time. And then I dump that in a pan, and then I'll do handfuls of spinach to steam up with tahini.
right.
And that'll be 2 meals. So I'll have that for lunch.
Your Dan's like friend tahine, like
Love it.
He loves tahine.
Love it. And so
Yahi,
that's a
what do you
very
call
easy
it?
one for me.
Yeah.
But I
Stuff
do
you
a ton
put
of
on
leftovers.
the avocado, the tahine,
Yeah.
the lime, and
Yeah, tahini.
yeah.
Some people call it tajin.
Tajin.
I
That's
said
me.
Tajin forever.
Cajun.
Because
Cajun?
look, we live an hour and a half north of New Orleans.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I was
Cajun.
like, Cajun, like
Yeah.
that's what that is. And a follower so kindly informed me I was saying that incorrectly.
It could even
like
be
it won't be the first or the last time I say something wrong.
No, right.
tahini may be wrong. I don't know.
We don't know, Danny. I mean,
We could change it today.
Leslie, you might need to look up how do you say it.
Everyone
Set us
pronounces
all
it
straight.
according to
A
their
tahine
own.
sounds
you
exotic.
think tahine?
That's how I've ever heard
Well, I'm glad
John's
I said it
usually
right.
right on the
Think about
pronunciation.
What
My
is
dad
it?
says tajin though, and he's from Mexico.
Jalapeno. Well, your dad would know. Your dad's
Apparently.
Mexican.
But Mexicans can be wrong. It's proven.
Well, we don't say jalapeno, do we?
No. But
No, we
but
don't.
hey, whole sidetrack. Back
Dad.
to Coach Amy.
Oh.
Lentils. You love the lentils. You
Well,
said
I have
sweet
MTHFR
potato.
as well, so I try to keep the lentils around.
Yeah.
So
And you
yeah.
do a lot of sweet potatoes.
I
seems
love sweet
like.
potatoes,
I love the
yes.
sweet potato.
Yes.
Sweet potato can go like grounded root vegetable or dessert, like depending on
Yeah,
what
it
you
totally
want.
can.
You know?
Sure.
Can you do? Do you have any sensitivities? Like, can you do oats, quinoa, all those things?
I try to keep dairy low just because
Yeah.
of Hashi, and I don't do much gluten.
Yeah,
just
because
I
of
don't
the
have to.
Hashis.
I
Is
mean,
your Hashis? What do your TPO numbers look like these days?
I'm supposed to get levels checked soon, and I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
But you're on
last time, I'm
thyroid.
sorry.
Optimized.
I'm on Armor.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So another thing that I love, quinoa, is
Yes.
one of my clients came up with it. We call it Casey's Quinoa Cherry Bowl. So it's half
Ooh.
cup quinoa, half cup frozen cherries, half
Ooh.
cup frozen cauli rice.
Ooh.
And you can warm it up or you can let it thaw on your counter. And then we do fat-free Greek yogurt, gentle sweet, and some cherry extract from you guys. Wow. So good.
So it's like a total dessert meal full of.
But it's breakfast, man. That's what I had this morning.
Okay,
It was so
really?
good.
Oh,
So
wow.
good.
and it's
Collagen
very. I
coffee.
like it because it's voluminous, right? So
Yes,
you've got.
I am not
Yeah.
restricted over here.
No,
Yeah.
that's so good.
Yeah,
It
it's so
sounds
good.
delicious.
And I fuel
Do you have it
every
you have
4
it hot,
hours.
cold? Do you have it
Either
cold?
way.
Ooh, it sounds yummy. Hot.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just worried about the cauli. Okay, the cauli rice.
Yep.
I've done it in hot oatmeal before, cooked in there, but I've never just done it thawed.
Just kind of heat it through. Sometimes I do put it in the microwave. I know.
No, that's
but
okay. You can
do
say
it.
things.
You can do it in a pan as well.
But you
Yeah.
don't like what we're saying is you just said you put these things in the bowl and maybe they defrost. Have you ever
Yeah.
eaten it like that? Just
Yes.
the cold cauli rice?
This
Is it-
morning. Yeah. I
is
mean,
it
I packed
chewy?
it before I
Yeah,
left.
is it raw?
It's not bad.
Really?
I can get over things easily.
Yeah.
though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you're-
So don't, if it scares you, don't do as much cauli rice or don't do it at all. It's
Well,
fine.
just do, you're just trying to make it is very
I
gentle
need
on
it
the
on
blood
starchy.
sugar.
I like it's what I have to do.
Right. Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because me hitting the gym hard,
Yeah.
I would do the full cup of quinoa and then just a few cherries on the top. I would
Yeah, I don't know what it would be net if it would be under 45 net.
But
you
I don't
still
care
did
for
that.
me.
Yeah.
yeah. I think there's
love
just
that. I don't
there
care for
just
me.
gets us to
Y'all
be a
do
stage
what
where
you
you
want.
just know what you can
that's
handle.
so true though, Serene. I do think that you care and that you never go all out. You never have like 2 cups of rice and then
I
fruit
would
and spike your blood sugar.
I would never sit
I
down to a
can't do
pyramid of
brown
brown
rice.
rice like my children.
But you're at that stage where you have a lot of lean body mass and you've done this plan for so long, you know how to work it for you.
oh yeah, so I think there does get to a stage where I know how many carbs I can handle. It's quite a bit in the training
Yeah.
that I do.
Yeah.
You
Right.
just got to put butter on brown rice.
Right.
Fixes it.
Oh,
Butter and salt.
it doesn't agree with me.
Really?
Brown
Yeah.
rice, yeah.
What do you?
I get the bloated tummy.
the
I don't like
bloats.
that.
Oh,
I
brown
work too
rice.
hard. I don't want to bloat
Brown
stomach.
rice bloats
Heard
you.
that.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Wow, that's
Bloating is
amazing.
now my worst.
The cauli
fear.
rice would
Like,
bloat
I
me
hate
up.
it.
I
Yeah,
think,
so
even more
cauli
than the
rice.
brown
does-
rice.
yeah. Wow, that's
likes me.
amazing.
We're all
eh?
different. That's
We're so
fantastic.
different.
All right. Well, coming up, we're going to talk about more food and stuff with Coach Amy. But first, a word from ourselves.
So when people come to you, Amy, what do you think is their biggest need? What are they crying out for?
Accountability.
Accountability.
But they really need somebody in their corner to love them through their hard days, because that's when they fall. A lot of them know the plan inside and out.
Okay.
I mean, some don't. Some need the education. Some think they know the plan, but they don't.
Yeah, right.
And so I just really think they need somebody just to kind of scoop them up and carry them.
But
for a
how
little
can
bit.
you do that when you have a lot of clients, right? You
I
have
do.
these large groups. How can you be there for that one individual that wants your time and she's having a CRAP day?
Yeah.
And she just like, do you feel like you can spread yourself that thin, or do you have ways and means of helping that person when you can't like get to everyone individually, or can you?
Yeah, I have one-on-one clients as well.
Yeah.
And so that's definitely, I have different levels for that.
Yeah.
So I have level 1, that's kind of the most touch points. I talk to them weekly, 30 minutes.
Okay.
They're 2-month sessions. And then I look at their food. We use an app called 8 App. It's a food journaling app. It's similar to the Journey app, but a little different. And so I that's what I've always used. It goes back 7 years almost
Yeah.
for me. And so it's what I was familiar with. And so that's what I do require clients to have that. So I see that and I track their meals. So I'm looking at their timing. I'm looking at their fuel categories, how many S and E and fuel pull they're having. And it's different for different people. If they have PCOS, if they're pregnant, if they're, heavy S, we just kind of get out of that rut. And so we do that, and they can text me anytime, 24/7.
Wow.
I reply when I can.
Yeah.
And so, it's just different with that. And my group coaching, I have buds and blooms. Flowers are really important to me. So I named them buds and blooms. And I think that was a really cool thing to do, because I separated the newbies from my ladies that are in accountability,
That's
mode.
great.
Yeah, and so it's more education, challenges, getting to know the plan, understanding what works for them. And I have a live Q&A every week, and so they can turn in questions if they can't be there live. It's a Zoom, and they can ask questions, and I can talk with them. And it's been working for several years.
You sound busy though, eh? Like, so, it sounds like
I have more free time
do
now.
you?
Mhm.
Because you're so
I
organized.
yes.
Yeah, she seems very
yeah.
You
organized.
sound like you got it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look,
I time
can
You
block
need to come
everything.
organized.
the
Serena.
nail polish. I know she has it all together.
Yeah.
Look at that thing.
And she's
Look at that, like-
resolute.
yeah.
Like, she seems like she can handle like other people's things.
It's a gifting.
Like lots
Yeah,
of
it
It is a
it.
gifting.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
straight from God,
yeah,
for sure.
It definitely
For
is a
sure.
gifting. Yeah.
So if someone's in
an
a group
anointing.
and like maybe they're not at the where they're paying to get needy
Yeah, in
needy,
group- in group
that's
they know.
accountability, right? Won't they be uplifted by others?
Yes, absolutely.
I think community is so
My
important.
the community of my Southern and Healthy ladies, and I got to see it. Y'all, when I walked in that room for the meet
Yeah.
and greet, it was one of the most I'm sure y'all have experienced it. It is the most overwhelming thing because they love me
Yeah.
and God has used me to change their life.
Yeah.
And they're just over and over. Like my phone, I had to put my phone on Do Not Disturb the last 24
Yeah.
hours because they were messaging me and thanking me and God did this in my life and you don't understand. I mean, it was just incredible experience.
Wow.
I'm still digesting it, you
Yeah,
know.
sure.
And they're like, please do this next year. I'm like, I have to do it next year. What are you talking about? Like, we have to do this.
I'm learning that I would make a terrible coach. Because I would
too.
just
But
thumbs
But you
up.
don't have
Oh,
to do
I'd
this.
be the worst coach in the history of the world.
But you don't have to do it the way that I do it.
No,
It's just the way
everybody
that I-
that
No.
sent me like hey, thanks for your work or whatever, I just thumbs up it or not reply. I would just be bad. I'm sure you send like a heartfelt paragraph.
Oh,
That's
I don't
like,
do paragraphs, man.
But you know, Amy,
No?
I can puffy heart an emoji and give
Okay.
things to them.
But Amy,
Yeah.
you know how if you've ever been to the hospital and you get, like taken care of by a nurse, you
Yeah.
know that that's a special anointing on
Yeah.
that person to be that cheery at 3 a.m, to be that kind and lovely, cleaning up bodily weirdness.
Yeah.
It's like you think,
And sometimes it's like that.
like, postpartum, you just had a baby and they're just
Yeah.
the sweetest people, just like taking care of. I'm just like, this is a special person. Like it's not everybody. Well, I think that's here with this coach.
No, I think, and,
I don't think I'd be a good
some
coach. I
people
would
have
fail.
started,
I
a
would.
coaching program and it wasn't for them. Others,
Right.
but like you say, so many of our coaches do it differently.
do,
Like some are
absolutely.
really one-on-one.
And they want to do things in person in their
Yeah.
community.
Yes.
I saw an opportunity for my family, and my husband doesn't have to work anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Your husband
Wow.
just helps you,
We do have rental property, so he
Yeah.
manages that.
but you're the main breadwinner.
Correct.
Wow.
That's amazing.
It is amazing because I didn't work forever.
Well, I just want to say, I mean, it's filling a need. It's filling an incredible need because, well, like Pearl said just a second ago, community often makes or breaks.
Correct.
Even if people have a revelation, like, okay, I see this as truth. Okay, I see this as something I need to do. Sometimes it's hard to put it in action without community. Pearl and I, even though we're two, it's been community. We've been each other's
Always.
community.
Yeah.
I think that I would be off in the weeds. I would be a psychopath. I would be the purest beyond purest who is so extreme and weird and off on the cuckoo land without Pearl. She has kept me sound, grounded, and tell now what I've done for you.
I was going to without you asking. But now it's forced.
1, 2, 3. No, I'm just teasing.
No, for sure. I've come so far your way, Serene. I mean, and you're a good balance for me because you don't have a lot of time to read the latest books, right? And I always feel like I need to keep up on what is
Yeah.
out there. So every new health book, I'm consuming it when I can. And I'm always like, Serene, what do you think about this? This is really compelling. This is so compelling. What do you think? Should we be involving this in Trim Healthy? And you're always, buck stops here, Pearl. Is it grounded in scriptural wisdom? Does it make sense long term? Is it something that's been done historically and culturally? Is it backed by science or is it a tangent? Is it just backed by pseudoscience because, someone wants to back it up? So it is so important, I think, that we've had
Each
one
other.
another.
And also, Pearl, just for the fact of just, I don't know, like we share a new breakfast idea,
Yeah.
a new recipe, or, just knowing that we may have, just sharing a struggle.
Always struggle.
I just feel like it's community is powerful. And that's what coaching provides. It provides that
does.
community.
And because I feel like, we've got our larger groups, our Trim Healthy groups on Facebook and stuff, but they're large. I mean, our largest
are.
one is 250,000 women. You
Right.
can get lost in there.
Yeah.
And some women like you, they start the plan and they're rock stars. They sail through. Many of them do. We don't really hear from them. So maybe they don't. Did you have anyone in your life or were you doing it on your own? You had a friend, right?
My best friend, yes.
So you kind of did it together.
Yeah.
So you had someone. But many women come in, like you said, they just saw the book advertised somewhere or and they're by themselves.
They are. And they meet each other online in my groups,
Yeah.
in Mighty Networks and Buds and Blooms. And I encourage them to get a buddy.
Yeah.
That's actually, my birthday is next month. And so we do monthly challenges and blooms. And that's community and coffee are my favorite things. And so that is something we're going to kind of talk about that month. That'll be kind of our topics. I try to keep things fresh because some of these ladies have been with me for 2 or 3 years.
They just continue on.
They do.
Because they
It's a
need
subscription. It's a
need to
monthly.
keep the
Yes.
community.
It's
Yeah.
It's kind of why CrossFit has been so successful.
Yes.
Because it is
community.
community.
It is.
Because a lot of people.
I mean, I could have walked into the one in Nashville while I was here,
Yeah.
and they wouldn't have they would be like, "Hey, great, glad you're here." I didn't, but I could have.
but a lot of people start exercise programs too, and it's oftentimes it's for the first, from January to March. Maybe they'll get to April, but having community is why you've stuck with it how many years now?
Yes,
So
6.5.
do you, in your coaching, do you ever coach exercise ideas,
I talk
tips,
about
tricks?
it. Yeah, I do. I have a module where it talks about, I think with exercise, it's important to do something that you enjoy. I hate running, so I'm not going to run. I do, if it's in the WOD for CrossFit, I'll do it. But I'm not just going to, like I did Murph, and I heard you said, who did Sam
My
do Murph?
husband and my
Please
boys
let him
did
know
Murph.
that I completed Murph in 1 hour.
You are a rock
I would like
star.
for him to know that.
I will tell him.
That's the best I've ever done.
That's
but
amazing.
The workouts just need to be something that they enjoy, whether it's a walking video with Leslie Sansone or it's, you guys work-ins. I have a few videos that they can do. And Coach Charlotte with Time and Compass is an amazing coach as well. She's also a personal trainer. Chris has things like that too. And, it's just, you can find something. There's no excuse. And there's so many free videos on YouTube as well.
I agree. And, I think that's what we've always said. Serena and I always said, do something you enjoy. And I think that you're right, and that coming from that perspective of anyone who's struggling right now and feels like they're in that place where they're not even doing anything. Well, anything that you enjoy is such a good start.
Just walk to your
At least
mailbox.
it's a sustainable
Walking,
path.
like
Just walk.
just the act of walking. But then you come to people that have been doing something, but maybe it's not something that they need in that season. Like maybe it's a jolly waste of time.
Right.
When you.
Right.
So that's what we've been coming into. Like, hey,
Well,
are
that's
you
second level?
It is. It's second. Like you've got the nerd level of protein. You've got just base camp. Come on in. Hey,
You've gotta level
Where's
up.
my protein?
Yeah.
But then after
So base
after you got
campers
that
do what you
down-
love.
Yes. Base
But-
camp on exercises do what you love,
Yeah.
but then it depends upon your season. But like we've discovered, and I've discovered since we've gone through these seasons, and I went through menopause and everything, and I really wasn't strength training. I was doing work-ins, but because I had no energy, my testosterone was tanked, and my estrogen went to 0.
I was there.
I couldn't. I stopped even the little weights. I went to gentle fit because I was so fatigued.
And she was getting fragile, like a
But I
fragile
lost
woman,
my
like
muscle
a
mass.
little old lady.
So I've had to spend the last 2 years building it back, and that required heavy weights.
So what we say
So,
now is like level 2 up above base camp is maybe you don't enjoy it, but we're all challenging everybody, that's 30 and beyond to start really having the foundational part of your exercise resistance, strength training, which is of
Agreed.
course it.
Yeah.
a
But
CrossFit
then
model.
some people get into that extreme too, where it's all we need is strength, cardio's junk. But I think that's where you get into extremes too, because the active walking is so good for your mental
walking.
health.
But then
and-
let's talk about the fact, like base camp, do what you love, yes. But sometimes what you love can be counterproductive to goals that you don't
Yeah.
realize. Like steady state running for half an
Yeah.
hour can undo goals sometimes.
well, especially
you
for
know?
women that are losing their hormones. I mean, they've found out that that jogging
down
or
bone.
running or high amounts of HIIT are just really raise cortisol.
And
on
especially
the,
if they have adrenal fatigue,
Yes.
they're
Yeah.
just wrecking their body.
and it's
Right.
the last thing women in perimenopause need.
Or steady state running actually breaks down the bone mineral density.
And that's in postmenopause, we don't have bone density. And so jogging, they've found, takes it further down. So then it's that, like you say, next level, okay, let's get really smart about it now. But you're right. First level just has to be just do something.
And that's where
Right.
most ladies are.
They
Right.
are.
To me.
Oh,
They're-
yes.
They just don't.
Yeah.
And
you
so
can't
just
really
getting
start
out the
them
door.
from not having enough energy to exercise to actually doing what they hate immediately. It's not going to happen.
Exactly. I mean, I don't love doing box jumps at CrossFit, but I
Right.
do them. I
Yeah.
don't love using the 14-pound wall ball. We're doing wall ball shots, but I do it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What's a wall ball shot?
So you hold it. It's like a weighted ball, and you squat down, throw it, and then you catch it. And you do it over and over. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Well, so,
They're
I
not
mean,
fun.
you've got you're involved in the coaching community
Yeah.
that we have, and it's kind of like a growing group of women. But what would you say are some of the differences in the coaches that you see? Like, you've obviously got a
We
very
might part to it too, Pearl Fran.
what?
We might
oh,
part to it.
I think we can do. We've got
Okay.
7 more minutes.
Okay, great. Yes.
I was just gonna like you're very organized, and you know, you've got everyone kind of on a schedule and challenges and that. What do you see other coaches doing that it's working too, but it's different for you? Because I'm not really in the coaching community.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're being very creative.
Yeah.
They're starting where they are, and I think that's what's really important. I think that there is a mama for every coach. There's a coach for every mama. Like that is
love
the way
that.
it is. I'm not everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to need someone else. And that's what the beauty of being a coach with THM is that you can do your business the way you want. And if you decide you want to take a break,
Right.
you can take a break. And they can coach on Facebook. Some of them coach through WhatsApp. Some of them
Yeah.
only do it through like their community center, or they teach a class at their children's school or something like that, or the homeschool mom group. They're teaching them through that. And then there are others that are doing a lot of social media things, you know.
Do you see women come through your program and then become coaches themselves?
Yes.
How often does that happen? Not
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens. I will be honest. It does
Yeah.
make me a little nervous sometimes.
Does it?
Because I have created a lot of content, and
Yeah.
it would be very hurtful if
right.
it was
Yeah. No,
replicated.
yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
I think with coaching, there's that etiquette of, hey,
Yes.
create your own
And
content.
I do have a nice little
Yeah.
note that I send
Yeah.
to them. So happy for you. Just
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I've never
Yeah.
had an issue.
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
these women are amazing, but I think
Yeah.
it is due diligence to do that
For sure,
to protect my business. But
Mm-hmm.
they all are incredible women, and I think some of them do lack the self-confidence to just put themselves out there.
Well, that's the hardest thing,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what like coaching is obviously not for everyone,
No.
but it's for who would you say? Like people listening now, and I'm sure some of them have thought, should I be a THM coach?
Yes, you
should.
should.
They?
Yes.
Really?
Can
Yes,
I say
they
something
should.
too? I feel like don't wait for the confidence.
No,
okay,
just do
because
it. I
Pearl
was
and
scared
I,
to death.
if we had to wait for the confidence to do what we do, we
Yeah.
would still not be doing it.
That's for sure.
Like,
I wouldn't have children.
Yes,
You know?
we wake
I
up
wasn't ready.
we wake up every day, and for each new step we take it as business, we do not feel, we don't feel capable or properly confident in it. We just know God is opening up these doors, right? And so,
but we do feel passionate about
we
it.
feel passionate,
Yeah.
but we don't necessarily feel like we're equipped. You know, we're the best to do this. No, we actually feel sometimes inadequate. Like, God, you're gonna have to be with us. But I feel like, you know, not that this is a great analogy, but you know, Moses, he was like, God, don't pick me. I can't even talk. You know what I mean? But God chose him. And so, like, I feel like if you have passion, don't wait for feeling like, oh, I'm going to be the right person.
Right. My mom, she thinks this whole thing is hilarious because I was the shyest child. She just recently retired, and I took her to dinner to celebrate her last day of work. And we were talking about my conference coming up, and she said, you do know this is very weird for a lot of us because, you know, you growing up, you wouldn't have talked to anyone. You don't want to be in the spotlight. Not that I really want to be in spotlight,
No.
but I am because I'm a leader to these clients of mine. And so it is, God did it. You
Love
know,
it.
he did give me all the gifts that I needed to remember people's names.
Wow.
Well, you better
That's
ask.
great.
You know,
Yeah.
and what they need, you know, that kind
Yeah.
of thing. So, you know, I know she has PCOS. I know that she has adrenal fatigue. I know
Right.
that her husband might not support her as much as he should, you know, different things like that. And I mean, I get him. I mess up sometimes, you know, but
Yeah.
for the most part, the level ones are the ones that have been with me for a long time. I can access that information. I believe God gave me that, and that's incredible.
love
But
that.
Yeah.
the ladies that are thinking about coaching, it is work. If you want to make it a business, like I have done, it is hard work and it takes time. And that had to change our family's kind of the way that we had done things. It changed, but it worked. And it was a wonderful thing because my husband was having some medical issues and he wasn't able to continue doing what he was doing. So it was a huge blessing.
Right.
And
for
can you
us.
do a lot of it from home too? Like
Oh,
a
I
lot
work from
of
home.
it?
I have an office.
So
at
I
home.
mean, I think
it's all virtual.
Knowing your children know that you're there.
They do.
and that's a beautiful
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Were you the person though that was helping before you became a coach? You couldn't help but help others
Yes.
anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually one of the admins kind of got on to me
Yeah.
because I posted, I'm about to go teach a class. I'd appreciate the prayers. Just a little Pollyanna, naive girl
Yeah,
over
yeah,
here. And she messaged me so sweetly and
Yeah.
said, we have a coaching program. And I'm like, I know I'm thinking about it, but I can't afford it. And all of that. And so anyway, she encouraged me. So
Yeah.
thank you, Lisa, for pushing me a little bit.
We're so
right.
proud of you,
Very
Amy.
sweet. Thank
You're just-
you.
you're just
And I can't.
amazing.
And I had no clue about that thing that you wanted your money back.
I did.
Cold
That's
feet.
I was like,
So-
I just don't think this is gonna work. Forms and legal and I got a little. How do you charge? You know,
Right, all of
Yeah.
that. Is that a hard thing though?
It is.
Because you give coaches
Now I'm like,
like
oh, I know
us,
what to charge.
You
but
know, well, you know how much work goes
I
into it,
do.
but you know, we give things away for free
Yeah.
too, of course,
Yeah.
because it's you want
Yeah,
to,
you do.
and that's the way. But I think some people don't understand, what goes into it and your time.
Yeah.
And I mean, a laborer's worth is higher.
and your
right?
heart too, because I mean, I can talk to 15 or 20 people in a day, and half of them are crying.
Yeah.
It's tough, and you
Yeah.
have to have a strong relationship with the Lord to manage
Yeah,
that.
that's
Right.
true.
Because in the past, I would walk right out and just be sad as I
Yeah.
can be for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've learned to let that go, and I've
Right.
learned to leave my phone in my office in the evenings, and I
Yeah.
go back to it in the morning.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
Boundaries
This
are
is
very
why you're
important.
not. Yeah,
That was a word of the Lord for you.
That's why
Boundaries.
you're not melting down. I mean, you
yeah.
look very stable.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, I love this. I mean, thank you so much. I'm
You're
so glad
welcome.
you got here.
Is that
Me
a word of the
too.
Lord for me too? Can I leave my
No,
phone?
you actually have to take your phone. You spend too much time leaving
Pops,
your
will I
phone.
leave it?
No. Don't take that word as one from God.
It's in the
Yeah, she
evenings.
can leave
in
the coffee.
evenings.
Oh, no, that's so great. So where do people find you?
I have a website, Southern and Healthy MS for Mississippi.com.
And where do people find like our general coaching?
On your website.
Yeah, but we've got a coaching directory, right?
Oh, yeah, for
and it
coaches,
lists,
yes.
Yeah, it
Yes.
lists all the things. Like,
Yeah.
so do you specialize in certain, because a lot of our coaches, well, one may be sort of, specializing in helping pregnant women or whatever, but what are your things that you specialize in? Or are you just
really
a general,
don't.
you're a general
She's a general
encouraging coach?
practitioner.
Yeah, you're a GP.
I love that. That's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think people just find me on social media and can relate to my personality and my life. And that's what happens, I guess.
Yeah, that's so great.
And you're a shining picture of health.
Thank
And I
you.
think people like that. It's inspirational. Yeah.
Yes, but we have coaches. It's incredible because some, like you said, you're not everyone's cup of tea.
No.
Well, this potty's not everyone's cup of tea. Come on, but those who love it and get a lot
Like
out
Dan
of it.
said,
So
the potty that 50% of you love.
let's hope it's a little more than that. It might be less.
Hopefully, it's more. We get complaints.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
Maybe they love it because they hate us too.
People have
you
so
know?
many
That's the thing.
opinions.
Yeah.
But what was I going to say? Oh, so we have coaches.
Yeah.
And we've always encouraged our coaches, do not wait till you're at goal weight.
Oh yeah.
I agree.
Because-
Well, you can coach alongside each other.
Yeah, and
I
some
mean,
of them, obviously,
yeah.
you have to be 6 months on plan and know the plan,
Yeah.
be living the plan. You
Yeah.
do not have to be perfect, but you have to be living
Right.
it. But, some women, and there are coaches, and they've lost 50, 60, 70, 80 pounds. They're still far from goal weight.
Right, right.
But
No, that's
they are
awesome.
rocking it. And
Absolutely.
some of them, some women are actually drawn to their
Absolutely.
story too.
No, I love that. I think I just absolutely love that. I
like
think
you
it's
said, there's a
fantastic.
coach for every mama
There
and a
is.
mama for every
And there's
coach.
different
is.
challenges and different metabolic issues that they have had to fight against.
Yes.
Maybe it was just a whole lot more than a coach that was able to get totally in perfect body composition in a year, right? But
Yeah.
maybe theirs is going to be a decade story.
Yeah.
But that's powerful and that's awesome.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to call up praise where praise is due.
It's so
Thank
true.
You're shining,
You are
a shining
shining picture of
example of
health.
Thank you.
optimal health. And so, you just praise that as well.
Praise.
As much as you praise that decade long,
Yeah.
like the Navy SEAL, they made it all the way through the hardest resistance. You just want to be like epic all start wailing. That's praiseworthy too. But this was praiseworthy, I was going to
so
bring it.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. We're at 52, so we should go. And Dan's got a heart out. Thank you so much, Amy.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Chit-chat.